Okay, let's go from the bottom up. Here's the bell. Next will be the bottom joint. When you're holding the bottom joint, try to avoid the rods as much as you can and also the pads. It's not a good idea to do this to put your instrument together. If you can avoid it, please do so your keys will stay in good working order. So I'm going to put the greased cork and the bell together, and I'm going to twist and turn until they're lined up. At the Buffet Factory, they put the logo in at the place on the bell where they want the bell to go because of sound. Okay, so there is a reason for the logo being on the instrument. Next, we're going to put the top joint. Again, you've got that bridge key, which is very tricky. So I'm putting my finger on the covered pad on the top of the joint and very gently clasping the joint in my hand, but trying not to bend the keys. And I'm going to turn to the side so you can see this. Put the clarinet in just slightly behind the bridge key and twist forward. And again, you try to avoid the rods if you can. This bridge key should be aligned, and if you look at the side, you want to check to make sure that mine's not quite there yet, and I'm twisting gently just enough to make sure that it's aligned, because then from the front of the clarinet, all the holes will be in line, and that's very, very important. Next will be the barrel, and again, I'm going to turn this way. I'm trying not to touch the keys and rods as much as possible, and I gently twist and turn until the barrel is on. I think my best hint is to make sure you use plenty of cork grease, because the corks need to be soft and pliable so that you're not having to tug to make this all go together. The mouthpiece goes on last. And again, be very careful because mouthpieces can break easily if you drop them on a hard floor. So I'm taking this in my hand and I'm pushing and twisting, turning very gently until it goes onto the clarinet. And notice that the curved part is in the front, and if I turn it, you can see that the mouthpiece window is in the back, and it aligns with the register key and the thumb hole on the back of the clarinet. Normally, while I was doing this procedure, I would have a reed in my mouth soaking, but I can't do this because I'm talking. So you would want to put the reed in your mouth to soak when you start this entire process. I'm going to show you how to do that now. I put the thin end first. Then I turn it and put the thick end. Okay, and I'm going to turn to the side so you can see this. Putting the reed on can be a little bit tricky. I'm going to use my thumb to place the reed, the flat side of the reed, against the mouthpiece window. And I'm going to align the reed with the top of the mouthpiece. Thankfully, the reeds are shaped so that that's pretty easy for you to see. Next, I'm going to take the ligature and I'm going to very carefully slide it over the reed. Now, this is where it can get tricky because if you get in a hurry and you slam the ligature onto the mouthpiece, you can destroy the reed. And I have done that before. So be very careful. Slide it very gently, holding onto the reeds with your thumb. And I put the ligature on my Van Doren mouthpiece, has a small line etched in the mouthpiece. So I put the ligature just below that line or where the bark starts. That's where it goes. Then I take the ligature screw and just turn it until it's tight. Some people will really tighten the ligature and keep turning and keep turning. That's really not necessary. It's only necessary to turn it until it stops. Then I'm going to take, since I'm not going to play right now, I'm going to take my mouthpiece cap and I'm going to put it on the top to protect the reed. And that's how you put the clarinet together.